November 8, Kilo Romeo.
Kilo Romeo, Roger, what's the name?
Kilo Romeo, Roger, what's the name?
Name is Dan, Delta Alpha November. I'm in Cleves, Ohio, about 20 miles northwest of downtown Cincinnati, over.
Roger, yeah, you're just following a Dan. This must be a Dan day, Dandy day. And what radio are you running, Dan?
Dandy day. And what radio are you running, Dan?
Now I'm running the ever popular ICOM IC 7300 with the SM30 desk mic, over.
Roger that. Okay, let's do a setup on that if you like. The first thing is to be sure that you're in that wide transmit band width, TBW, wide 100 to 2900. You have three selections on that 7300, and one of those is wide, and so you want to put it in that 100 to 2900. And now a lot of people go back and convert all the other two possibilities to the same 100 to 2900. So for whatever reason, that radio can't jump to another frequency capability. Roger.
Jump to another frequency capability. Roger.
Yeah, Roger, yes, it's currently in the wide mode, over.
Excellent. Okay, then move along to your compressor, and we want that on at a 3. It's just a token amount. You'll never hear it on the air, but we want that compressor processor on at a 3, Roger.
We want that compressor processor on at a 3, Roger.
Roger, yeah, I just reset that from 2 to 3, over.
Excellent. Now to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, I want you to adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO. Don't stress it, just say it, and adjust your mic gain until you're 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter, Roger.
So you're 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter, Roger.
Roger, audio, about 25% on the mic gain. Let's see, audio. Yeah, about 25% on the mic gain. It looks good.
Okay, sounds a little hard to me. It's 7 or 2/3 on that ALC meter. Try to stay out of the end of that reading on your ALC meter. 7 or 2/3. About halfway between halfway and full. Roger.
2/3. About halfway between halfway and full. Roger.
Roger. I also have a mic gain adjustment on the bottom of the mic, and I might try that. Stand by 1.
Okay, I tell you, that may be what it is. What I want you to do is set your mic level, your internal mic level set to a 5. Your internal mic level set to a 5, and then use your external mic level to achieve 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger?
7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger.
Okay, set the mic gain to 5%, is that correct?
No, to 5, half of its possibility. In other words, that mic gain is 0 to 10, and we want it on a 5, halfway. Roger?
0 to 10, and we want it on a 5, halfway. Roger?
Okay, my radio shows mic gain in percentage, so I want to go about 50%, is that it?
Yes, sir, that's it. In other words, we're looking for a nominal mic level input. Nominal, which is like halfway, half the capability of the input level. So we want to be a 5 out of 10, Roger, thereabouts halfway on the whatever the nomenclature is on the mic input level.
On the whatever the nomenclature is on the mic input level.
Okay, I have that set for 50. Now, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Audio. Right about there. there.
Okay, so then why don't you tell me about your 7300 and what you like about it for about 10 seconds or so.
Your 7300 and what you like about it for about 10 seconds or so.
Okay, just all around dynamite radio. I also have a 756 Pro that I got with you months ago and set up the audio on that. Got that thing going real good, but the 7300 is also a very good radio. I like it. A lot of guys, think it has receiving problems, but these radios are all built too sensitive. So if you keep that in mind and you use your attenuator or ride the RF gain control, radio works a whole lot better. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, just as an experiment, I want you to take your internal mic level control to a 4 instead of a 5. Just reducing your level just a little bit from a 5 to a 4, and let me hear you.
Just a little bit from a 5 to a 4, and let me hear you.
Roger, that's about 40% on the gain right now, over.
Yes, so much clearer there. You were, I think, kind of bunching up at the top because that level was just slightly high. So if you would write down a 4 as your main volume on your internal control, and then maybe jot down the also reading on your external control, so you can go back and assimilate the situation from these notes, and just keep the notes around. So if something were to happen and you would need to touch up things, you would have it. So it's a 4 on your internal mic gain control, and it's whatever it is on your external mic gain control, Roger?
And it's whatever it is on your external mic gain control, Roger?
No, Roger. Well, this will save to the SD card, so no problem there. I can always save whatever I do on it on the SD card, and seems to be another nice feature there. What do you think in the way of bass and treble, over?
That's where I'm headed to. Let's go to the tone control board, your equalization capability, Roger.
Control board, your equalization capability, Roger.
Roger, I'm there.
Okay, sir, what I want you to do is, what is your current treble level control? The current level control of your treble adjustment.
Adjustment.
Currently, it's +3 on the treble.
Okay, so go ahead and take that, max that out to a +5. +5, Roger, Roger.
Take that, max that out to a +5. +5, Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger, that's +5 right there.
Okay, then let's go to bass. What is your current bass reading?
Okay, then let's go to bass. What is your current bass reading?
Current bass reading is -2.
Okay, take that to flat. Take that to flat. And then tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds, Roger.
Tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds, Roger.
Roger, the antenna system here is fed with open wire line into a tuner and into the radio, over.
Okay, I need just a little bit more than that. Tell me about, how many different antennas you have, or do you just have one?
I have this antenna, also have VHF and UHF antenna in the back, and another just a random long wire antenna in the back, and another just a random long wire that at the moment that's all I have up purposes. At the moment that's all I have up over.
Roger that, Roger that. I got a chance to listen to my local 7300 output on a antenna that seems to be favorable. I was getting probably about 10 dB above my noise level. I run a very low RF front end, so The thing is to avoid any possible distortions there. And gosh, I can't really give, when you back off your RF, you can't really give somebody a S-meter report because the S-meter is no longer operable with reduced RF. So I go by noise in the front end, and I calibrate the voice for 0 level on a VU meter, and then when they cease speaking, the meter drops to the residual noise, and you look to be about maybe 7 or 8 dB above my noise level on the 7300. Roger, roger.
Be above my noise level on the 7300.
The audio where it's at, it seems to be okay on this end.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry I missed that. Repeat.
I say this audio should stay about where it's at now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You should try to keep it in the sweet spot, which is 7 or 2/3. So much so that I would leave my my meter out, my modulation meter, and so I can concentrate on trying to keep it in the sweet spot as much as possible. And that we're talking about the AOC meter. So just keep that out and be, as you talk to your friends and neighbors around the world, be aware of what your level is on your AOC meter and try to keep it right in that sweet spot of 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. It's about
2/3, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. It's about 7 right now, so yeah, that seems to be working just fine. Still have pretty good output also.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, the thing is, what we have done is set you up for a 3 dB dynamic range. Now, a stock transmitter without any processing runs about a 10 dB dynamic range. That's a given that folks engineers would say unprocessed audio is about a 10 dB dynamic range, which means a 10 dB dynamic range is about a 30% average peak modulation. So what we want to do is move from that 10 dB dynamic range, we want to fatten that up to about a 3 dB dynamic range, and when we hit 3 dB dynamic range, then the average percent of peak modulation moves up to 80 to 85%. And this is really important when you're talking about working into a lot of noise or a lot of QRM. The higher level of modulation is most effective. Now, the thing is, at a 3 dB dynamic range, we have no distortion, or relatively no distortion, and it, like I say, is very beneficial to get you somebody be able to understand what you're saying in a pileup. And also EQ helps, but we want, I think, now think about this. If everybody coming into this pileup has got the bottoms whacked off and they're just talking about upper mids to mids to upper mids, well, what about this station that comes in at a full frequency? He has the whole frequency from 1 kC down to 200 cycles to utilize to help him be heard over the rest of the group. Roger?
To help him be heard over the rest of the group. Roger.
Roger. So basically leave the transmit bandwidth wide and then, adjust the audio appropriately over.
Yes, sir. Exactly. So I think the more kilocycles you got kicking, the better things are going to be. Now, I'm not talking about anything below 100 cycles much. I usually just roll that out. 50 cycles for sure. 75 cycles would probably be a nice place to take everything and get rid of everything below that, because that's not going to help. Although the 7300 has frequency response, transmit receive down to 100 cycles, and that's one of the reasons I just love my 7300 when it comes up on my input selector, because I've got 5 selectors that are being taken by SDR outputs, Internet SDR audio, and I've got my one that is the output of my 7300, and boy, I tell you, they're all calibrated to the right level at around 1 kc, but there is a difference in the frequency response from my 7300 to the Internet SDRs, in that the Internet SDRs tend to roll off below 200 hertz, maybe 250, somewhere in there, whereas I'm all the way down to 100 on my 7300. Roger, roger.
Down to 100 on my 7300. Roger, roger.
Now, roger, roger. Well, it is an amazing radio. And mic also. That was another thing that blew a lot of minds there. Over.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, the hand mic designed by Bob Heil, I think he did an excellent job. He did not use electret microphones a lot in his career, but that radio for the ICOM 7300, he did choose an electret microphone in that hand mic, and it was just such a beautiful choice. The frequency response capability, I think, of a electret microphone, particularly on the top end, is so much more articulated than the output at the same frequencies from a dynamic mic. So, with that being said, I just love it. Now, there are a couple of provisions that you need to utilize when you do use that supplied hand mic, and that is, the first one is to pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Do not talk directly into that hand mic because it doesn't have a windscreen as such. So the best way is just to take the mic and put it and actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
Now, Roger, well, that's common practice around here anyway. I've been around a long time, and for a lot of mics, that generally that's the way I would talk on them, even in the old CB days. And pretty much was always heard with no extraneous pops and cracks there, over.
Yes, sir, exactly. Probably 80% distortion-free as you work that mic to the corner. Now, the challenge is to get you, if you really are a connoisseur of audio and all that stuff, is to get yourself a piece of foam windscreen that find out exactly where the element is in that hand mic, and you put you a piece of foam windscreen, just about maybe an inch or square, right centered over that hole, and you'd be amazed how much that cleans things up too. Roger?
Now, Roger, I do have a little QRP radio here, an RS-918 that came with a electric mic, and that's exactly what I did with that. Although this one was kind of nice the way it was built, I could put it inside the mic, and when I did that, it made a big difference, and I was still heard just perfectly fine there, over.
Yes, sir. That's a possibility of getting it inside. But I have always found I've tinkered with electret mics for a long time. There, 3 or 4 years. I have what's called a crisper. Now, the crisper is a passive device that EQ shifts that electret element on the top end right around 6K. And what it is, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but a phone plug has a piece of plastic that fits over it. It's long, it's round, and then it tapers back. Well, what I would do, I'd take a razor blade and I would cut the taper back part off. So I just have a round jobber, and the electret mic element would fit right in in that hole, just the same size, and I would extend it out in front of the mic element by maybe a quarter of an inch. It's just maybe just over a quarter of an inch, and what happens is that acts as a passive equalizer that shifts the frequency range on the top end and just crispens up even an electret microphone. Roger.
Roger, that's a slick idea, and I guess by moving it in and out, you can actually tune it somewhat.
Yes, sir. Usually I've found that a quarter of an inch lip in front of the element itself. You know, the element's in the tube, but there's only like maybe a quarter of an inch that sticks out in front of that, around that element in front of it. Roger.
Roger, Roger. Well, that sounds pretty cool. I might play around with that myself. I'm always playing around with mics also and have I'm always playing around with mics also and have a whole ton of electric cartridges, you know, different size ones. I got some pretty big ones. I got a couple that are an inch in diameter, and they really sound good. But anyway, I sure appreciate your time and helping set this thing up. I hadn't really tried to set it up, and I've had the thing since, I think this is one of the first ones. I believe I got it in March of 2016 there over.
Roger. And one other thought there, you know, a power supply for these electret microphones usually is about 8 volts or something like that, but I have found that I use a ART preamp, which has a 48-volt phantom power supply for the condenser mics, and that's a little too hot to be usable directly like that. But I can take and make a note of this: a 2.2K resistor directly across the microphone element. A 2.2K will be very nice as far as working into a 48-volt phantom power supply. And of course, you ground to one side of that balanced input on a ART preamp. Roger.
Input on a ART preamp. Roger.
Roger, yeah, I understand. Well, I'll probably never do that, but I will, you know, keep that in mind if I ever do. I have a Behringer little board that I use for a bunch of different things, but never really thought about running the radio audio or the mic through any kind of stuff like that. I just like good communication audio, good rack shoe audio, and that's about it.
Roger. Well, that's the name of the game. And the other thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're kind of torn there. That means keep your good stuff that's working and then do this other stuff as an experiment, Roger.
It's working, and then do this other stuff as an experiment, Roger.
Yeah, I used to tell the CB guys, just keep your fingers and the golden screwdriver out of it. You'll be okay.
Absolutely right. All right there, Dan, let me say 73 to you, sir. If you want to hear your audio, just beautiful. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
3,500, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger, Jim. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks again for helping set this thing up there, over.
Roger, my pleasure, sir. 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.